Breaking news, Cowboys fans. Hold on to your hats because we've got one of the most shocking, jaw-dropping rumors to hit the NFL in recent years. The Dallas Cowboys could be preparing to sign none other than Trevor Lawrence in a blockbuster trade. Yes, you read that correctly. The superstar quarterback from the Jacksonville Jaguars, the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, and the player many believed would be the savior of a struggling franchise, could soon be wearing the star on his helmet. Now, how is this even possible, and why would the Cowboys pursue such a move? Well, buckle up, because this trade would send shockwaves not just through the Cowboys locker room but the entire NFL landscape. The potential signing of Trevor Lawrence would be a franchise-altering move for Dallas, so let's break it down and see why this could actually happen, how it would affect the team, and what it means for the future of the Cowboys and the rest of the NFL. First, let's look at the current situation in Dallas. The Cowboys, despite being a team with a lot of talent, have been somewhat inconsistent in recent seasons, especially at the quarterback position. Dak Prescott, the face of the franchise for the past few years, has had his ups and downs. He's been a leader and has posted some impressive stats, but his play has been marred by inconsistencies. While Doc has had some excellent moments, there's been a lingering concern over his ability to take the Cowboys to the promised land, particularly with playoff struggles and a string of injuries. And that's where this rumor comes in. The Cowboys have an established starting quarterback in Dak Prescott, but with his future up in the air due to contract negotiations and lingering questions about his long-term health, the team might be ready to make a bold move. The idea of Trevor Lawrence joining the Cowboys is intriguing because Lawrence, although still raw, has the potential to be a top-tier NFL quarterback. Since being drafted first overall by the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2021, Trevor Lawrence was hailed as the next great quarterback. He was a standout at Clemson, a prototypical NFL signal caller with size, arm strength, and a quick release. Many thought he would come into the league and immediately make an impact, leading a struggling Jaguars team to respectability and potentially more. But things haven't exactly gone according to plan in Jacksonville. Despite flashes of brilliance, Lawrence has struggled to find consistency. With a subpar supporting cast and a rebuilding franchise, it's been a tough environment for him to develop in. His first couple of seasons in Jacksonville have been a bit of a roller coaster ride, with moments of promise mixed with head-scratching mistakes. Lawrence has shown that he can be elite, but his time in Jacksonville has been plagued by instability. His development has been hindered by coaching changes, a lack of talent around him, and an overall lack of success within the organization. But make no mistake, he's still considered one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL, and if he were to find himself in a better situation, like the Dallas Cowboys, he could flourish. Now, why would the Cowboys make a move for Lawrence? Well, for one, they are a team with Super Bowl aspirations and a roster that is ready to win right now. The Cowboys have one of the best defenses in the league, a top-tier offensive line, and weapons on offense in players like CeeDee Lamb, Ezekiel Elliott, and Tony Pollard. With a roster like that, the window for success is open, and it might be closing soon. Dak Prescott has been solid, but the Cowboys have to be wondering if they can get more out of the quarterback position. There's a real concern among some in the organization that Doc might not be the guy who can bring the team over the hump. With his contract situation uncertain, his injury history, and the pressure that comes with playing in Dallas, the Cowboys could be looking for a fresh start at quarterback. Trevor Lawrence would offer the Cowboys that fresh start, and with his potential and youth, they wouldn't have to worry about finding another franchise quarterback for a long time. Looking at Lawrence's potential, the Cowboys would be getting a quarterback with one of the highest ceilings in the NFL. While it's true that Lawrence has had his struggles in Jacksonville, he's still only 24 years old. He's got the arm strength, accuracy, and poise to become one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And the best part is, he would be stepping into a situation in Dallas that is much better than the one he left behind in Jacksonville. With a supporting cast of talented receivers, a strong offensive line, and a great running game, Lawrence would have everything he needs to succeed from day one. The Cowboys also have one of the best coaching staffs in the NFL, and offensive coordinator Kellen Moore would have the tools to work with a quarterback as talented as Lawrence. The system in Dallas is built for a quarterback to thrive, and Lawrence could take full advantage of that. Imagine Lawrence leading an offense with weapons like CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Dalton Schultz. With his deep ball accuracy and ability to make plays on the move, Lawrence would be a perfect fit in this offense. The Cowboys would have an explosive offense with the ability to strike at any moment. So, how would this trade actually go down? What could the Cowboys offer to Jacksonville in exchange for Trevor Lawrence? Well, the Jaguars would almost certainly want a hefty return for their young quarterback. A first-round pick in this year's draft would likely be part of the package, as well as potentially a second-round pick in the following year. The Cowboys could also include a player or two, like a veteran receiver or a defensive piece, to sweeten the deal. A player like Michael Gallup, who has shown flashes of brilliance but might be expendable with the emergence of CeeDee Lamb, could be a potential piece to include in the trade. Defensively, players like Leighton Vander Esch or even a rotational pass rusher could make sense. Jacksonville, in turn, would get a package of picks and players that would help them continue their rebuild, and they would open up more cap space to invest in other areas. The big question here is whether Jacksonville would be willing to part with Trevor Lawrence. It's certainly not something they would do lightly. The Jaguars have invested a lot into Lawrence, and moving him after just a couple of seasons would be a massive decision. However, if the Cowboys offer a deal they can't refuse, Jacksonville could see this as an opportunity to hit the reset button once again. If they believe that Lawrence's development is better suited elsewhere, or if they believe they can find another quarterback to lead them in the future, they might pull the trigger. It's not completely out of the question, but it would certainly be a bold move. The other big question is what this would mean for Dak Prescott. If the Cowboys were to acquire Lawrence, it's hard to imagine them keeping Dak Prescott on the roster, especially considering the financial commitments involved. Prescott would likely be moved to another team, and there are several suitors who might be interested in trading for him. Teams like the Indianapolis Colts, the New York Jets, and the Las Vegas Raiders could be prime landing spots for Prescott. While Dak hasn't been perfect, he's still a solid quarterback and could be the missing piece for a team looking for stability at the position. The reaction from Cowboys fans would likely be a mixture of excitement and skepticism. Some fans would be thrilled at the possibility of bringing in a young, talented quarterback with the potential to be the face of the franchise for years to come. Others, however, would feel loyal to Dak Prescott and might resist the idea of moving on from him so quickly. After all, Prescott has been the team's leader for several years and has done a lot for the franchise. The idea of trading him for a young, unproven player could be a tough pill to swallow for many. Regardless of how fans feel, the implications of this trade would be massive for the Cowboys. If they land Trevor Lawrence, they instantly become one of the most dangerous teams in the NFC. With a franchise quarterback under center and a loaded roster surrounding him, the Cowboys would be a Super Bowl contender. The pressure would be on Lawrence to perform at a high level right away, but with the talent around him and a system that suits his strengths, there's no reason he couldn't thrive in Dallas. This potential trade would also have far-reaching consequences for the entire NFL. The balance of power in the NFC could shift dramatically, and teams across the league would have to adjust their strategies accordingly. Whether or not this trade happens remains to be seen, but if it does, it would undoubtedly be one of the biggest moves in recent NFL history. So, what do you think? Could the Dallas Cowboys actually pull off a trade for Trevor Lawrence? Would you like to see Lawrence in a Cowboys uniform, or do you think they should stick with Dak Prescott? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions on this blockbuster rumor. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on breaking news like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.